Ladies and gentlemen, so I'm Toni Lusikka, as said, from VTT, and I'm gonna explain you a little bit what we have done in our past projects and what we will be doing in this Fit Me project. And I want you to imagine yourself in Finnish Lapland. It's minus 30 degrees. You're standing on a bus stop. A bus comes every 3 hours. It's late, 20 minutes. What do? Do you go back to cabin or do you stay and wait? And that's why we are doing this, improving through digital solutions. And why are these solutions needed? Mostly because tourism is changing. Nowadays it's mostly mass tourism, but the forecasts show that individual travel is growing, and it's growing fast. In a few years it will be as large as the mass tourism is today. Also, there's lots of new digital services like Airbnb, Booking.com, Finnair, Nowhere, everything else like that. And also tourists want to experience more. They want seamless, easy travel, but they want to live like locals or people who are authentic. Also, the transportation is changing. There's lots of pressure because of climate change. We have to cut carbon dioxide emissions, other emissions also. People are owning less private cars. They are using more and more new mobility services and also the public transportation. But also, people are moving to cities. There are not many people left in rural areas, so subsidizing the public transportation is very expensive for society. Also, the transportation is coming automated more and more. All trams, buses, they are automated in maybe 15 years. I don't know. And also, it's very hard to reach these remote destinations and nature experiences that are located in nowhere areas like Finnish Lapland. And as said, the public transportation might not be available or it costs very much. And what are the challenges for these travelers that come to Finnish Lapland? This is the bus stop that you were standing in the beginning. So there's destinations and attractions. They are in the middle of nowhere. It's very challenging to reach these, and if you are a foreign traveler that comes from a place where there's no normally snow or ice, you don't want to be driving your own car first time in winter time. The tourism is very seasonal in Finland. It's mostly happens in the winter time. And so the supply and demand of the mobility services is also varying a lot during the year. So in summertime there might be no local transport services at all, or there's only few, like the bus that comes one in the day from Rovaniemi to Kittilä or something like that. There might not be taxis at all, or they come in the winter time from Oulu to these big skiing centers. And because the distances are very long, they are very expensive. It's very expensive. And also the tourists are very different. There's lots of different types of tourists that have different needs. There's high class tourists, and they don't mind to pay the taxi. It's okay for them. But how about backpackers or somebody else that doesn't have money and wants to use the public transportation because it's more sustainable method of traveling? And very big issue is that tourist businesses and mobility businesses are often very small. They are owned by one people. They might not have even employees at all, or they have only few, or they are family businesses or something like that. So they might lack capability to do digitalize their services. And information it's very important, but it's very hard to find most of the time. It might be on newspapers, leaflets, in hotel lobby, on some, maybe on web page even, but how to find it? How does the foreign tourist know that this company provides this? I have to go to look from their web page. And when you are standing beside the road and you have only the paper version, bus is 10 minutes late. You don't know if it's actually coming or not. And what we have noticed that there are digitalized mobility services in rural areas. There are none, basically. Like trip planners, like well, Google Maps, of course, but it doesn't have all the information that is needed. And I think Google is too big company to care about Finnish Lapland. So the digitalization, it's the enabler to provide sustainable travel. And we have to move from these catalogs and web pages to dynamic mobility services. Everything has to be always online. And why? To digitize these, just some benefits for you. It's possible to provide better customer experience with these. All mobility can be found in one place. You don't have to think which company goes from where to there and other issues. Online ticketing, to buy tickets in advance or how to get them. For example, in Oulu, they don't accept any cash at the bus. That's might be issue for somebody. I don't carry cash, never, but some travelers might rely on cash only. Also, the real-time information, you can use it to optimize your travel and your time at the destination, and you know about if the bus is late, is it coming or not. Better accessibility to mobility services for those who have special needs. The information has to be available if there's taxis that can have wheelchairs on or things like that. And if we do digitize mobility services, we can make Finland or Estonia or any other country as a more attractive destination, because it's easier to plan a visit and it's easy to find and use services. People appreciate it. Also, for the service provider, it brings more business to you. Why? Because your service offering is accessible for more people, and your services can be integrated to travel chains through digital routing and mobility as a service solutions. You can manage your own fleet and operations in real time, because you know when people are coming and going. You can optimize your resource, and you know what people need, because they are searching for the same things. And yeah, there's lots of benefits, and yeah, it seems probably easy to do this, so why it's not done yet? That's at least in Finland, because nobody is responsible for it. It's not tourism people's responsibility. It's not government's responsibility. There's nobody who takes responsibility on this. And also, the mobility and tourism industries have not been working closely together. Of course, they order services from each other if they are needed, but they are not collaborating in the sense. And because the businesses are small, they might lack capabilities to do digitalization, resources, and competencies. It might not be, well, how to say it? They don't might not see even why it's important for them or what's the benefit for them, and that's why, because nobody is responsible and nobody wants to take responsibility, we are doing projects to support this digitalization and to improve services and collaboration, and hoping that people will realize the benefit for them and how it benefits all the customers and travelers and society. So first, a little bit about Open Arctic MaaS. MaaS is Mobility as a Service, if somebody doesn't know it. This was the project that we have been doing this year, and point was to enable rural mobility as a service. So this means that we want to bring new mobility services and digital services together and provide them in real time on an application. And this was a joint effort. We got 11 travel destinations to join their resources and capabilities to improve accessibility and digital transportation service level. And point was to upscale deployment towards open and shared mobility platform by utilizing and further developing common open source public transportation information services. And we used DigiTransit as a basis for Lapland Route Planner. And DigiTransit is an open source collaboration project providing a service platform for a public transportation journey planner. And this is used in 15 cities, towns or areas in Finland. For example, if you have been in Helsinki and used the HSL route planner, that's the basis for this. For example, myself, when Oulu did this, I haven't used my own car at all at the commuting between home and work, because now I get in real time when the bus is coming. I don't have to be waiting it on the bus stop. And this is based on the OpenTrip Planner, which is openly for everybody to use, and this is also OpenTrip Planner. It's used also in other countries than Finland, and I think the DigiTransit is also coming to Estonia in near years. I read something about like this. And well, why we wanted to build our own was because nobody offers this DigiTransit route planner in Lapland. It's only in cities, basically. And we used this platform as the tool to get people working together, to show them what's the real value about this, and it worked very well. And point is that it will support all mobility in one place. You can see from the picture that I took a route from Rovaniemi railway station to Helsinki, and it suggests that I take a bus from railway station to Rovaniemi airport, then fly with Finnair to Helsinki, and then take the train from Helsinki airport to city center. And why we use this service as the basis? Because the DigiTransit is open source, so it's cost effective. You don't have to pick only one provider of the service and end up paying for them rest of your life. But you can also develop it yourself. Need for these type of services is recognized internationally. For example, Entur does the similar service in Norway, and DigiTransit is coming in Estonia, and of course there's Google Maps on here and other big services also. And what's the end goal is that we want to embed this to other channels, and we need to include data tools that can be used to digitalize the destination and areas to this service, and other bus stops and charter buses, everything else besides the public transportation. We have to bring them all into one. And also, what's the most important thing, in my opinion, is the long-term engagement in national level. We have to commit in developing this, because otherwise it has been in vain. And we emphasize the real-time information in technical work because of the situation that you all pictured in the beginning. And with real-time features, we can give service alerts. We can inform if the bus is not coming today, or if it skips some bus stops for some reason, or if there's something else wrong with the bus. Also, real-time trip updates. It always shows where the bus is coming, if it's coming, how many minutes you have to wait, so you can optimize your way to the bus stop. And also, it shows the vehicle position on the map, so you can also see it in a visual way, that if it's close or not. And yeah, the tech work, it's quite easy for the people who know how to do it. And we have the technology, we can do this. But the biggest issue that we came up is that there's no commitment. There's no anybody who takes the responsibility. So what's the biggest work in these projects is that we have to co-create and build awareness of this and benefits, and also to show people how to do this, how to, for the example, the mobility service providers, how they can digitalize their roads easily to this service or other services that they want to use. So this was basically the Open Arctic Mass project, what we have done. This is ending in December. But, and the one goal was to find somebody to take this platform over, but nobody wants to do that. So we have to keep working on, and that's when we come to this Fit Me project for an individual travelers, hospitality and mobility ecosystem. So we want to take this a little bit further. We have done the open multimodal transportation data and the open multimodal public transportation information services. We have done those, it works, it has been done. But now we want to do the new mobility services like on-demand services and smart ticketing active modes also into this. and also integrate the tourist services, the experiences and the digital hospitality and booking services into this, or the mobility services to tourism services. It works both ways. And this is the next goal. Let's see how that goes. It can be even as simple as this. This is from Ylläs website, a screenshot. There's this Ylläs around where you can type where you want to leave from and where you want to go. And when you put your destinations in there, it gives you Lapland route planner and shows where to go. It might be as simple as that to integrate it to somewhere, but it has to be easy to find for everybody. And I'm a little bit over time, I think, but let's end quickly. So mobility services are fragmented and poorly digitized. It's not easy to find services. In Open Arctic Mass, we created a strategic network to collaborate and work together towards this digital mobility services in Lapland, but these need to be developed, operating models need to be developed further and nationally, not only in Lapland, because other areas have the same issues. Piloting of the DigiTransit was successful. We have shown we have the technology, it will work. But the work is really beginning if we want to do new technical services and in ecosystem-wise, because we have to find people to do this in some kind of joint venture. And lastly, the digitalization is the key to attract and reach customers, to provide winning customer experience, and to optimize your service provision, and to cooperate with other people. Thank you.
Thank you. Toni, you said that this planner is online also. You can use it now for planning the trip in Lapland. And is it possible to use it in English also?
Yeah, yes, it's...
Is it in English now?
Yeah, it is in English, although yeah, it is.
Because in the menu we saw the häiriöt and other words.
I know, sorry, those were pictures from
They are English also, yeah?
Yeah.
Now this is good. But my experience, I visited Finnish Lapland 2 months ago. I hope that the Sami people also will use it to travel around, because when I wanted to meet one Sami man, he was in moose hunting and he didn't want to come out of the forest. I don't know if they travel by bus or because he was moose hunting. So, but I hope that it's a good plan to do it.